Hey everyone, Mike here. We're continuing our journey exploring the new worlds of generative AI. Who knows what this technology will bring us tomorrow? I'm still discovering what we have today. Let's check out 5 more things we can do, focusing on creative writing for fiction. Ever find yourself tangled up in crafting that perfect villain, or just needing an extra face for your sci-fi tale? I've been there. But guess what? Generative AI can be your creative sidekick. So let's unpack this. Let's say you're looking to create a character from scratch. Just ask a tool like ChatGPT to create one for you. It'll whip up a character profile. Once it's done, maybe also review a few details and make the character more your own. Meet Dr. Celine Vorex. She's 42, sports jet black hair with electric blue and purple streaks, and those gold cat-like eyes, you can't miss them. Born on a space station with blurred lines of right and wrong, she's a genius in alien plant genetics. But hey, everybody has a soft side. For Dr. Vorex, luminescent alien flowers. Just like that, you have a character, all with an outline of their background, how they look, their way of speaking, and as many things you can think of. Not happy with the first result? Just chat with the tool and work together to get where you want to go. But a heads up for all you budding authors and screenwriters, generative AI often draws from what's in the digital ether. So before you pop that character into your next bestseller, do a quick search. We wouldn't want your Professor Dooming from the planet Anglefrex to already exist somewhere else, right? But what if you've got a world, a story arc, maybe even a hero, but you're missing that villain to kick things off? Just whisper the essentials into ChatGPT's virtual ear and voila, you've got someone like Vorex but who suits your pre-existing world. And while getting things going, why just read about Dr. Vorex? Maybe you want to see her to help you describe the action. Pop the description into a tool like DALL, and you no longer just have to use your imagination to see her. Maybe you think this is a step too far, but when crafting a long novel, this may just help you keep your story consistent. Characters like us aren't static, they twist and turn with the plot. So if Vorex needs a personality tweak, you can again ask for the help of tools like ChatGPT. Provide the summary of a key chapter, say, summarize it and ask for an update of Vorex's character profile and how they look after the key events in your story. It's like your story and the AI are talking, keeping each other and you in the loop. Have you tried to create a character? What were your highs and lows? Tell me in the comments. We've covered characters, but what about the stage they perform on? Have you ever created a world for your story from scratch? The world your characters inhabit can be just as important as they are. If you set it down before you put pen to paper, you'll already know how the light falls on the ancient city of Agranthia and why its citizens have a deep hatred of the bog people of Frug. The world can help inform the tension, antagonism and peril your characters will have to navigate in their adventures. Whether you're developing an entire universe or just a small town, generative AI can be a huge help. You can use AI to fill in the blanks or flesh out the world you're dreaming of, down to the tiniest details. Say you have a character like Wieslow who lives in Agranthia. He's a lowly apprentice but desires a more interesting life. One night he ends up outside the city gates after gathering giant moth eggs. Curfew's already been imposed. He can't get in until morning. It's cold by the gate and he hates the cold. He looks at the giant moth eggs, knowing his master will be furious he was locked out. He turns to the open landscape behind him. It's waiting for him. He abandons his life in the city, deciding to explore the world instead. But what is this world? If you're stumped on how to get going or just want a helping hand, you can pop your profile of Wieslow into ChatGPT. Ask the tool to use Wieslow's traits to build an overview of his world. What's its geography, its cities, its conflicts? Want more? Use this world to continue expanding what you've already created. Add more layers, maybe even adapting things as you go along. But if you're scratching your head and wondering, how do I even pop things into these tools? No worries. Check out our basic beginner's guide to using ChatGPT. There's a link in the description below. Now, let's jump back into our world building. Say you've already written down all the main elements of your world yourself. Tools like ChatGPT may still be able to lend a hand. You can add all your details into a chat tool and have it write them up into detailed profiles. You can also ask for consistency reviews. This may help you see what might need to change in your created world before you even get the story going. Or you might be able to see what impact the story itself will have on the world you've conjured up as your adventure continues. This can help create a more dynamic, detailed and consistent world for your tale. And by putting all this together, it'll be like you've created a wiki page for your fictional world. And with the help of your tool, you can easily do updates too. Now just be mindful of some of the cultural elements tools like ChatGPT might suggest. If the tool gives a group a stereotype, maybe reflect on it. Look at the context and consider whether the profile requires a bit of fine-tuning. Ever felt like you're staring at a blank page for hours? Maybe you've seen the evening hours drift away until they've turned into the early hours of the morning. Your mind's still blank and so is the page. You just want to get something down, but the spark doesn't seem to be coming. Maybe you wish you had someone to bounce ideas off, but it's 2 AM. Maybe give generative AI a go and brainstorm a few ideas. Imagine you've decided to write a detective story. You've got the kernel of an idea at the back of your mind, but you can't tease it out. Maybe your character is Sarah Morgan, a Bristol-based detective who's juggling the challenges of her job, motherhood and the realities of life. However, when faced with difficulties, she mentally escapes into her noir-inspired alter ego, a fearless, hard-drinking maverick detective who's always a step ahead. But what's going to be in your hard-hitting first chapter? How do you weave the dual realities of Sarah's noir fantasy and Bristol life? And what links the dark secrets of the reclusive artist John Bennett to a recent spate of deadly crimes? Ask for ideas, variations on dialogue, anything when you're stuck. While you can use brainstorming to create characters and build worlds, it can be used for anything. Maybe when you're done with writing your book, you can even use it for marketing strategies, cover designs, anything that needs a few ideas. Whenever you're faced with a problem that needs a list of answers to move you forward or to get something down on a page, you can take it to a tool like ChatGPT and get a list of answers. You don't have to cede creative control. Maybe you will use one of the ideas, or maybe they'll just inspire you. One thing's for sure, that daunting blank page, gone. Words, words and more words. That might be what you want, but sometimes you can't track down the alternative that's just right. If only you could see dozens in quick succession and find the one you didn't even know you were searching for. With generative AI, you can. There's a simple approach. Just ask the tool to give you 20 synonyms for whatever word you need an alternative for. You can also ask for brief descriptions of every word to help you choose the one you think is right. Still, if a word has many meanings, it's probably best to define the one that you're looking for. But why stop there? If you have a whole paragraph that sounds like a playlist on repeat, why not ask for a helping hand? Put the paragraph into the tool of your choice and ask for variations. Maybe you have an idea for what type of words you're looking for. Maybe you want words that emphasize the growing intensity with each glance between two people falling in love. Or maybe you want to help find those words that fit the context. You might be looking for the terms that are just right for your genre, or if you're writing a story for teens. So the next time you're stuck or just want to tweak your language, give the dynamic thesaurus a try. Once you've managed to finish your first draft, there always looms the daunting task of correcting your mistakes and sharpening up what you've put down. There's the likes of those there, and there's, inconsistent formatting and pesky punctuation. That sentence you made a note to change but didn't get the chance to finish. You want to catch all the errors and you want to ensure the text just flows. There's often no better way to do so than with a second pair of eyes. It always makes sense to ask someone else to read what you've written, including a professional proofreader and editor if you're publishing something. Still, asking generative AI tools can help too. Ask your tool to act as an expert proofreader and editor, perhaps even specify the genre or style you're going for. Ask for feedback on what you're writing and you'll get it. You can even ask for a review of whether the feeling of the scene is coming across and if your writing is clear. You can also request it to highlight the changes it suggests for your text. For example, you could ask it for strike-throughs where cuts are made, or to mark additions in bold. But always remember that these tools are not perfect. As amazing as something like ChatGPT is, it makes mistakes and sometimes makes things up. If you're suddenly learning about a grammar rule you've never heard of before, perhaps double check it exists before you rewrite every other sentence in your 500-page thriller. And as your audience is likely made up of humans, it probably makes sense to ask a few of them to look at the text too. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to comment below with your own generative AI experiences. Until next time, goodbye.